we'll be able to go ahead and get ourselves back at a good footing, a solid footing, going to be ahead of the clock tomorrow pretty much. Alright guys, it's Sunday, and we're behind for more than one reason, unfortunately. Well, to start off, the thing that wasn't so bad necessarily, but like, we got out of New Jersey and we got parked for the night. Now when we got parked, we had about 15 hours and 45 minutes to drive to get to let's see, Owatonna, Minnesota. And with that, I could have driven a little bit on Saturday, but if I had done that, I wouldn't have been able to complete a 34-hour reset before Monday. You know, we would have been running recaps all week, and didn't necessarily want to do that because you know, that could set me up for a problem later on in the week, you know, if I run out of time doing the recaps, you know. So I just decided to bite the bullet, do a 34-hour reset there at that rest area, and you know, drive all day today was my intention. Get up into Wisconsin, just a little bit over the state line of Wisconsin, park at a rest area or a pilot there that I had planned, and then drive the final 4.5 hours starting early on Monday morning. And that was gonna work, but when I got started this morning, had a D-rate issue. So we worked on that. The D-rate message went away with road repair's assistance. Didn't have to call out for a technician to come out and deal with the truck. Try to drive down the road a little bit, and the D-rate message popped up again after having been cleared. So we got 30 minutes down the road from where we parked for our 34-hour reset, and we are still in Pennsylvania right now, and working with road repair to see what we need to do. And actually, before that, when I was having the original D-rate issue at 30 miles back, the plan road repair had, you know, was to get that first D-rate message cleared away, but they wanted me to go and get the truck checked on, you know, running myself through Brownsburg, the terminal there, which is out of route. It's out of the way. Cut off on us for a second there, but the Brownsburg terminal is out of route from where we need to go, but we do need to get that issue taken care of. You can't drive with a D-rate. On top of that, you know, you only have really 3 hours before the truck will, you know, pretty much shut itself down. You won't be able to operate properly. So we need to get that looked at. But another issue popped up saying that, you know, it needed to have the regen set. So that is the reason why I also stopped here at this next rest area. Working with road repair, they said I need to do a manual regen on the truck or something. So we're just waiting to get the instruction on how to complete that properly. But the thing with all that, I don't know, like how long I'll be stuck at Brownsburg with them dealing with that. You know, I might end up having to give up this load to another driver to get it delivered since it's due on Monday. But that's definitely not a favorable outcome. But you know, that happens sometimes. You know, when you have a breakdown that's gonna have you out of commission for a little while, you know, a day or two, you know, is all it takes, because most of this freight is next day delivery, next day or next 2 day delivery. So priority right now is just getting this truck back up and running so that I'll be able to move freight for the rest of the week, regardless of how this particular load goes. But we'll see what happens in the next few hours here. All right guys, things actually went from bad to worse for today. That manual regen ended up not working, so I needed to get routed to a a shop. I actually got routed to a Peterbilt in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And man, that was an ordeal. Just doing that part was an ordeal. The truck was driving. It was able to get me here. I wasn't having a mechanical issue as far as, like, you know, the truck being able to drive safely. Still having the problem with it's not a D rate now, but that indicator light went off. But I mean, it's still got to get looked at because there were some other indicator lights on the dashboard that needed to actually have a mechanic look into. But I got routed to this place. It was no problem. It's actually about an hour away from where I was when I gave that last update. When I got here, or when I got routed here, they were telling me that there is a secure lot where I'd be able to drop the trailer, go ahead and head to the address, which was the address for this Peterbilt. But I get here, and let me show you guys what this place looks like. There's the road. This is the little lot, and that's the area right there. There is absolutely not anywhere here to drop that trailer. So I guess the person I was talking to didn't have all the information, or they were misinformed. So I got here, and fortunately, when I was able to pull in, there's a spot right there on the right-hand side of where that van is, a little farther ahead, next to the building, which is actually the area where the employees park, I would venture to say. But with today being a Sunday, none of them are here. This place is closed on Sundays. So when I got here, I pulled in right there, and I called road repair and say, hey, I don't think this is right. There's no lot here. The gate's locked, and it definitely doesn't look like, you know, a trailer can fit anywhere. Because before I even drove here, I did my due diligence. I pulled this address up on Google Maps, and I looked at it from there. I'm like, this doesn't look like a trailer will be able to fit anywhere near here. I mean, if I was able to drive around the back, you know, it'd be very tight trying to get out. So I'm like, okay, I messaged the road repair crew, and I'm like, hey, you know, you sure? This looks really tight. And they're like, customer said that there's space for you to park. Now, I don't know who told them that, because that's definitely not the case. There are zero trailers behind that fence that I just showed you guys. So even if they weren't completely closed for the weekend, you know, there's nowhere to park a trailer. There's just bobtailed tractors like what I have now. So they found another place, I guess a storage lot. So I had to drive from here to there, which was only 5 minutes away. But in Pittsburgh, this area that I'm in, and especially the area where I had to drop that trailer, is not tractor trailer friendly whatsoever. I wasn't able to get any footage of me dropping the trailer there. I wish I could have. You guys could see how tight it was. It was basically like a neighborhood where I had to drop that trailer. You know, the lot where I dropped the trailer, I mean, I'm assuming it was like the owner, like those for that little space. You know, that whole area, they met me there, but that whole area was filled up with just regular cars. And you know, the little spot where I was able to tuck that trailer in, that's the only trailer that's gonna fit back there. So I don't know, man. I don't know, but I definitely do not want to have to go back over there to get that trailer and drive out of that area, because I mean, that was a mess. It was a mess. But with that being the case, this trailer's not, or the truck's not going to get looked at until tomorrow. I'm positive that that trailer that I dropped is going to need to be picked up by another driver, and they're going to have to go take that the rest of the way. That's just part of the game when you're driving these trucks. Doesn't happen super frequently, but you know, it's always inconvenient when it does. All I can do here is make the most of it. So I'm just thinking, what do I need to do? You know, if I end up getting put in a hotel for, you know, a day or 2 days or however long, you know, get your game plan together. You know, what items do you need to take with you from your truck so that you can be comfortable enough and sustain yourself when you're away from the truck, and whatever supplies you have in here that you sustain yourself with when you're on the road. And also thinking, like, worst case scenario, if you need to end up leaving the broken down truck to recover a new truck, say like if this one's going to be down for, you know, 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something crazy, like the mechanical situation was extremely bad, or they couldn't find a part anywhere for it. You know, I believe TMC will only have you sitting in the truck for so long, or sitting on the truck waiting for so long before they offer you the chance to go and recover another truck that's available, you know, somewhere else in the country. You know, you go they'll get you a rental car and you go drive to that location to recover the new truck. So if you do that, you gotta, you know, get the rental car and come back to where the broke down truck is, and, you know, get all of your things, pack them up in the rental car, and head to where the new truck is. So I've had to do that before, actually, a couple of times. But other than that, I think we're just gonna be hanging out here and relaxing until the morning. It's only 5:30 p.m. right now, so I guess we'll catch up once we have a status update on what we're going to be doing with this truck here, what's available to us. All right, guys, it is Monday afternoon now. Actually, they got the truck in the bay pretty much as soon as I checked in. I mean, it was very fast, maybe like 30 minutes after I checked in this morning at 7 a.m. and they were working on the truck all day. And fortunately, when they found out what was wrong with the truck, it was a couple of parts that needed to be replaced. I don't remember the names of them, but this place actually had those parts that I needed in stock at this actual repair shop. So it is 6 o'clock right now. I'd say they got finished with the repairs maybe an hour or so ago. And I got with my fleet manager, let him know that I was up and rolling again, or prepared. I mean, it's really late in the day, so there's not really a load to pick up like that. Well, yeah, for today there isn't, but I got a pre-plan actually. I have a pre-plan for tomorrow. But what I'm gonna do, since I have a full 10-hour break that I did, basically more than that actually, but I need to go and pick up the empty trailer, because as I suspected, or as I expected rather, that loaded trailer that I had from New Jersey, that was swapped with another driver that came through here earlier, and he picked that up and he left his empty. So I'm gonna go to the storage lot where he swapped the trailers, and I'm gonna go hook up to that empty, and I'm actually gonna go drive to my shipper's location for my pickup tomorrow. Because the shipper that I'm going to in Pennsylvania, they actually have on-site parking. So I don't know if, like, it's a pre-plan, but also a preloaded trailer. So I don't know if, like, you know, maybe I'll get lucky, even more lucky, I suppose. You know, but lucky in a positive way with this. So that trailer that I'm supposed to be picking up, or the load that I'm supposed to be picking up for tomorrow, maybe it'll actually be ready ahead of time, and I'll be able to actually, like, hook up to it. If I hook up to it today, I'm more likely than not, depending on how long it takes, not gonna drive any this evening. I'll just wait until I have another 10-hour refresh and just do my whole drive tomorrow, just so I have a, you know, a completely fresh start to the day with, you know, a completely full and peace of mind, and none of the issues or irritation or anything from, you know, the previous load that I do. And it's actually not that far from where I gotta go to go pick up that empty trailer. It's only about 12 minutes down the highway to go get that, and then I believe it's only like 45 minutes to the next pickup location set for tomorrow. So it really won't take that much time. You know, the most time will be spent just, you know, reattaching to that other trailer and getting the equipment placed away. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that, guys. There's still enough time to, you know, make the most out of this week. Like I said, we missed out on one day. We're gonna get a portion of the pay from the previous load, you know, based off of how far I was able to drive it before the truck broke down and I had to give it up. So we got some money from that last load. It won't be as much as we would have gotten from delivering it, but, you know, it's better than zero. We'll be able to go ahead and get ourselves back at a good footing, a solid footing, going to be ahead of the clock tomorrow pretty much. I'm gonna see if I can get the truck washed and possibly, you know, park up early to get this load delivered tomorrow. I do believe that the place I'm delivering to has on-site parking, and it's only 352 miles loaded. So it won't take me very long to get there tomorrow. You know, maybe I'll even get there early enough to actually get unloaded same day. And we'll see where we are after that, see if we can get ourselves back ahead of schedule. But let's go ahead and get moving. Morning, guys. We are here in Pennsylvania to pick up this preloaded trailer. I showed you guys that very, very tight backyard, basically kind of alley, where the trailer was being stored. The loaded trailer that I had, and it's the same spot where the empty trailer that I had to take for today was. I mean, there was no space back there. I mean, yesterday was a good time getting back out of there, fortunately, because when I had first dropped the loaded trailer there, that alley actually had a car or two parked along the side, and I was able to just barely squeeze through when I was bobtailing to go back to the repair shop. With a trailer, I don't know, man. I would have had to, you know, stop the truck and go knock on that person's door at their house or something to get them to move their car. There's no way that anybody could move a trailer through there successfully without hitting a car. I mean, that spot is, in my opinion, a horrible place to store trailers. Well, it's not trailers. You can only store one trailer there at a time. I am positive, because as I was saying before, that person's storage lot only had room for the one trailer that I had there. And I think the guy that came to do the trailer swap, the other driver, he had a bit of a time trying to do that, because he had to execute all of that with first off just himself. Since I'm out of commission at the repair shop, he had to drop his empty trailer right next to in the street, basically in that back alley, drop his trailer, go move the loaded trailer, scoot it up some, drop the loaded trailer back down, hook up to the empty, move it forward, and then back it into the spot in the storage lot, and then hook back up to the loaded trailer and leave. Forget all that. If you guys ever break down, don't break down anywhere near Pittsburgh if you can help it, because that city, that town, not tractor trailer friendly at all. At least not the spots that I had to go through. But we made it through successfully. At the end of the day, it's all just about you know, taking your time, being precise, and don't panic and do something irrational just because you know, you think you might get stuck or people might be honking at you or looking at you. Forget all that, because anybody who's got something to say or is giving you any kind of like dirty look or talking trash on the radio or anything, they're not going to be there holding your hand if you have to go to court or talk to an insurance company to answer for any damage you might have caused, or any, you know, traffic congestion that may result from, you know, you damaging anything that you might have hit. So just take your time, do what you need to do to cover yourself safely. But aside from that, we only had to drive like 45 minutes after we did that trailer swap to get here in Pennsylvania to pick up this preload. It's a little bit after 6 a.m., which is when they start rolling and getting their trailers for the day loaded. So I dropped my empty trailer, and they have it in the bay right now. It's over there. They got it in their bay right now. They're loading it, so they'll go ahead and secure that, and then they'll go ahead and drop it in the parking space, and I'll go hook back up to it and make sure that the securement is up to my standards, and then we'll go ahead and get rolling. We have a 6.5 hour drive to Virginia, where this is going to be delivering. If things shake out right, I mean, we might actually even be able to get there and deliver it before their cutoff time. And this load's not due until tomorrow. I'll have to check in with my fleet manager and see if delivery for today is a possibility. You know, like I said, it'll be a day early. I think their cutoff time is 3 p.m. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know if that'll even be the best thing for me to do or not, because I want to get in position to get a load that pays well. So if I get empty, it'll be definitely after that 12 p.m. time that I told you guys about, that you want to try to not get loaded after. So, you know, financially, it might not be the best thing to try to drop this trailer and go pick something else up, because whatever else might be left for today, it could very likely just be, you know, some leftover chump change kind of loads, if you will. And it would be better for me to just wait until tomorrow, when all of the fresh freight is put on the load board, so I can get something that pays better, that also gets me going in the direction that I need to go to get home for this week. So we'll see. I'll talk it over with my fleet manager and go from there. But we'll see this freight. Hopefully it's a nice, even boxed off load, nothing stacked weird, because when you get these drywall loads, you know, they can stack them up in strange ways. It makes it a little bit annoying to try to keep looking underneath your tarp and seeing where you need to put your edge protectors versus getting, you know, like the square box or rectangular formation. It's very, very easy to deal with. So we'll see what we have here. All right, there goes my trailer with my preload on it. Gotta follow that guy. That way we can get ourselves out of here. All right, here's our preload. And this one's not too bad. It's pretty even sized. It's just a little elevated right there, but all of the straps are on the outside, so there's no belly straps on this one. So all I gotta do is just make sure that those straps are winched down the right way. I mean, they're not even tightened. They're never gonna be tightened. They're just gonna be secure enough so that they can move the trailer and put it in a spot, and then you finish it off. But with this, the only annoying thing that I can say really came up with this one, you know, when you bring this stuff up here, they have a list of securement to leave on the trailer so that they can go ahead and preload the trailer for you. And they ask you for, or at least they asked me for 18 edge protectors, plastic edge protectors, in addition to like the 2 lumber tarps and however many straps and some bungees. Now they asked me for 18 edge protectors, as I said, and that would be 1 edge protector for each side of the 9 straps. And if you can see up there, most of them are there. There's not an edge protector right there. And on the other side, there's a couple of spots where there's no edge protectors, which would be boom, right there and right there. Now, all in all, that's a relatively small issue because I got plenty of edge protectors to make up for that. But it wasn't like, you know, the trailer was dropped yesterday. I dropped that trailer probably like 40 minutes ago, and they picked up the trailer and took it and loaded it like right after I dropped it. So I don't know, they lost those few edge protectors somewhere, or, you know, they weren't being as thorough as they should. But I definitely put 18 edge protectors up on the trailer for them to take. They got everything else that I put on the trailer put on the load the right way, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and secure this so we can get ourselves up out of here and have an early start to our morning, getting back on the road, which is what we need after the weekend that we had. So let's go ahead and go. All right, guys, we weren't going to make it to the consignee early enough to attempt to get unloaded early, same day, but that's fine. We still had way more than enough time since we took the liberty of driving to the shipper yesterday evening. We had more than enough time to get all the way there. It's only 6.5 hours. So I was gonna fit in a truck wash along the way, because we're not actually due for a truck wash until next week. But when you got the opportunity and the spare time, it's like, you know, why not? You know, I won't have to worry about it next week. I was gonna also get fuel. There's a Pilot here right across the way. You can see it off there in the distance, right there, right there. But that Pilot is actually having an issue with their fuel pumps. Their fuel pumps do not work. That is the closest Pilot that there was from where I just picked up. It's convenient that it's right next to this truck wash. I'll be able to knock that out. But the thing that I don't like about that right now, aside from the obvious thing, not being able to get fuel as I planned it, but look right there, how much fuel I got left right there, just above the red line. That sucks. But positive thing about that is there's only an hour of distance ahead of me that's en route before I get to the next Pilot. So that's more than enough fuel for me to drive an hour down the road and get fueled up like we need to. So I'm not sweating it. Now, if that one has an issue and the fuel pumps don't work there, then yes, I might get into panic mode a little bit, have to see what we might have to do regarding that. But you know, there was literally no other places for me to fuel up before I got here. Driving in any direction, north, south, west, east, nothing was closer than where we were going right now anyway. Because normally I don't let my fuel get any lower than 3/8. Yeah, once it hits the 3/8 mark, I'll go ahead and fuel up, assuming that I have the weight available on the truck, the empty weight, to be able to fill up. Just because when you get to 3/8, in my experience, regardless of what happens, you know, you'll be able to make it to the next fuel stop within 3/8 of fuel. You know, that's plenty to get you, you know, 300 miles, you know, if you need to, which you should come into a fuel stop, you know, long before that, you know, in some direction. Unless you're, you know, in a tricky part of the state, or the tricky part of the country, because with TMC, you know, we fuel at Pilot Flying J, you know, so in an emergency situation, you know, you might be able to fuel somewhere else, you know, after you talk to your fleet manager or safety, if you get into some kind of predicament where, despite your best planning, you know, the fuel wasn't available to you. Like a situation like right now, I guess, nobody would have known that this Pilot was not going to be operational, but there is a TA across the street that, you know, in an emergency, I'm sure they, you know, let me use that and then figure something out, versus, you know, the truck just dying because there's no fuel. But we're only going to be, I believe, about 3 hours and 40 minutes away once we leave this place from the Constantine. We will get parked up early this evening. I'd say no later than like 5:30 or 6, you know, depending on how long it takes to get this truck wash taken care of, and then go get some fuel after that. But should be an easy day. You know, it's this load, it's a decent recovery, you know, from having to give up what we did because of that breakdown. This load pays a little bit over $1,200 to the truck, so it's not a complete bomb, you know. It's I don't feel as terrible about it, you know. It's a decent load for a next day drop. So we'll get this taken care of, and we will see where we're going tomorrow. With me wanting to go home at the end of this week, I'll probably get some freight that's wrangling me closer to North Carolina, where I live here. So I might get something that sends me down farther south to Georgia, or something that sends me to Tennessee, maybe even something that sends me to South Carolina or something like that, you know, but we'll see. All right, we made it to the Constantine. We didn't run out of fuel on the highway. We successfully made it there, got fueled at the next Pilot that was down the road. It's about 5:45 right now, so it's still pretty early in the evening. We didn't get here as soon as I was planning to, but that's just because we ran into some rush hour traffic coming down I-95 through Virginia, crossing between Maryland into Virginia. So that's not out of the usual for that area. But we're going to be the second ones in line here. There was somebody that was even earlier than us, which is fine. I've got to drive right around that bend right there to get unloaded in the morning. I don't know how much space they have to hang around once I'm unloaded. I got to check and see when they start unloading in the morning. But there's a TA actually, probably about 5 minutes away from here, that, you know, if I have to, I can just drive over there. I'll have to reluctantly start my clock if I don't have a load before then, and just drive over there and wait for the next dispatch. But all in all, it's a good day. You know, everything was successful, and going to the shipper that we picked up from this morning, driving there last night after we picked up that trailer, was a smart move, because that saved me about an hour and a half that I would have had to use today, or this morning rather. So, you know, when you strategize and you have an opportunity, it can work out. You know, just make sure you guys are planning accordingly. That's what I try to do. But I'm gonna go ahead and get comfortable here and make myself some dinner, and I'll catch you guys in the morning. Okay, it's the next morning, and we just got unloaded. That was no problem. And what we're actually waiting for now is there's somebody in front of us here. We got unloaded in this area here. You can check it from the mirror. had to drive around. So we're just waiting for this drive van to move because the exit is right beyond him to the right. There was a guy behind me, and I think he reversed to go back out the way that we came in. I don't particularly want to do that. You know, you always want to try to avoid backing if you don't have to, because that's how a lot of accidents happen, is when guys are backing up, you know, hitting things. So I'm not in a rush, and I'm not being forced to go back that way, so I'm just going to hang tight here for a little bit. Hopefully he doesn't have to get loaded, or hopefully he doesn't have to get unloaded and then loaded with something else while he's here. That'll take a little bit longer than I want to wait, but takes 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, I'm okay. But we already have our load for the day. We're actually going to Petersburg, Virginia, pick up some steel. It's gonna take us down to South Carolina. That'll have us right in line to be close to home for our Thursday night delivery that we're gonna pick up tomorrow, and get ourselves back into North Carolina for Friday. So the day's off to a great start. We'll see you guys at the steel pickup.